Okay, I think we're live. Oh, it's still setting up. Okay, we're now live. Hi, everybody. Jenny here.
Hi everybody, Taras here.
Yes, today we have our guest, Taras. How do you pronounce your last name? Litvin?
Litvin.
Litvin.
Yeah. In Ukrainian, I pronounce Litvin, but for foreigners it's difficult, so I say Litvin. And by the way, several years ago, many years ago, I split my last name on two parts. Li, like Chinese last name, very popular. Li,
Yeah.
and twin, like twin kids, twin babies. But I didn't know exactly why twin. Just twins, it's interesting something in yang inside, because I started interested in Chinese culture many years ago.
So
But
this was how many
later,
years ago? How many
it
years
was
ago
like
was it? 10?
around 20 years
Oh,
ago.
20 years ago.
Around 20 years ago. But when my twin daughters uh, appeared 3 years ago, I understood the meaning because now they have this exact last name, Lee twin, because they're twin.
Amazing. It's like a prediction, yeah? It
Yeah,
manifested. Yeah,
yeah,
you had that name 20 years ago, and then 3 years ago. So that's 17 years later, you really have twins.
yeah. Now you can ask me for 70 years ahead. I can predict the future.
That's wonderful. Well, first, I have to say, everybody, Taras is a certified Blue Mountain Feng Shui consultant in Ukraine. And Taras, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your family first?
Yeah, I was born and live in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, and I have wife. My wife is Chinese language teacher and translator, Dasha, and we have three wonderful kids: a boy 5 years old and two daughters twins. I already mentioned.
Yeah, that's wonderful. 3-year-old twins. And then you must be busy.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit busy. So,
Yeah.
how did you come across feng shui? Did you know about feng shui?
No, actually, I was in academic science. I used to work at the Institute of Biochemistry,
Hmm.
Ukrainian National Academy of Sciences. I was immunologist working at the molecular immunology department, writing my PhD dissertation on some immunology and cancer issues.
I see.
Uh, and in the parallel world, like my hobby, I started practicing Qigong in that years, around 1995.
Hmm.
And my friends who also practiced Qigong, they asked me, oh, Taras, we are going to invite another Chinese master. He's Feng Shui master.
Hmm.
Would you please translate, be interpreter? And I answered, okay. It's like it was a volunteer option. I can attend this course and translate and just go deeper for Chinese culture. It was interesting to me, for
Yes,
me to study Chinese culture.
yes. And I guess at
And
the time that you didn't have that much exposure.
yeah, we didn't have much books. It was 2001, the year of 2001, and no books, maybe one or two books in Russian or Ukrainian. And at the workshop, I just translated and wasn't interested too much because I was practicing Qigong very much and tried to practice deep. And I didn't care about some design issues. My interest was biochemistry, immunology, and Qigong.
I see.
But then, accidentally, my friend or relative asked about some design issue at home, how to put a bed or table in his office. And I remembered what I translated. I recommended some option, and he changed, and it was helpful. Then another one. Then I needed to change something at my home and at my job. So I changed, and I saw the improvement. I saw positive changes, and people gave feedback. It was also positive. As a scientist, I was from the one hand very skeptical about such knowledge, but when I saw positive results, and when I saw that when you have some formula, general formula, some principle,
Yes.
when you follow this principle, you get the same results in any country, in any region of our Earth. And it was rather obvious that it has positive impact on our life.
So you had a hypothesis as a scientist, and the conclusion was good.
Gradually, step by step,
Yeah.
I shifted from official science, from mythology, to Qigong and Feng Shui. And step by step, I started practicing Feng Shui and became a consultant and giving some workshops. And one day when Dr. Hsu arrived to Kiev, he asked me, when we sat at some restaurant, he asked me suddenly, Taras, would you like to to organize my workshops by yourself? Because before other people organize his workshops and consultations. So I answered, am I ready? Am I good for that? Okay, Dr. Hsu, go ahead. And he told me that, okay, just be head of director of Blue Mountain Institute in Ukraine. Just supervise for this region.
I see.
So we drank a little bit, and I agreed.
old school style, handshake, drink, and all is good. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
So, and it was started, and later people joined us from Russia, from Belarus, from different regions, and now we have Belarus supervisor of Blue Mountain Feng Shui. We have several people in Russia, the director of Blue Mountain in Russia, and in different cities also we have some supervisors. So Eastern Europe is covered by Dr. Hsu students.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So everybody has, a different approach to Feng Shui and how they incorporate it into their life. How do you incorporate Feng Shui into your life?
It's been incorporated naturally. When I see something, when I feel something that is not good for me, for my body, when I have some feeling uncomfortable, I start thinking from Feng Shui point of view, because it's rather universal knowledge. It incorporates different, I would say it incorporates all spheres of our life, because it's not only about interior design. It's also about food, about relations, about philosophy of life, and other things. I would say about usual, like external Feng Shui, and I would say about inner Feng Shui.
What do you mean by inner Feng Shui?
Inner or spiritual, I would say it's the aim of any knowledge, how Chinese people call it gun fu. To know gun fu or something, gun fu of belly, gun fu of football, gun fu of martial arts, gun fu of tai chi, and gun fu of feng shui. And it's some intuition and your techniques. You unite these two things. One from more from material world. When you practice something regularly every day, you do something, you improve your skills.
Right.
When you work material in physical work, but also when you develop your skill of feeling or catching of the very first second feeling of this place or situation or person or something else what you want to know. At the very first second, we can call it intuition, when you feel exactly what it is or what should I do or other things about choice. And when you unite this in one inside you, you get the idea of Feng Shui master, because as I observed during these years since 2001, I observed how Dr. Hsu works, and it seems that he is like the highest level master, because when he asks, he receives the answer, already answer in his head.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to apply some formula, some principles, to open the book or to dig his mind finding some answer for some formula. He just asks and immediately receives the answer.
Yes.
And as I understand, is the highest level, when you just see, ask, and receive the answer. And we who are the students who on this way, we just learn how to develop this quality. And to develop this quality without inner feng shui is impossible, because inner feng shui or spiritual feng shui is when you practice qigong, you improve your qi energy inside.
Yes.
And your ability to feel, to
be aware,
improves, and you become a master for your own. Because good Chinese masters in qigong or tai chi or feng shui, they say our aim for you, for everybody, for every student, for everybody to become your own master, because actually each of us is the master. We just forgot it. And the main task of any teacher is just to reopen this option of our master. And when we start to trust ourselves, we trust our heart, we trust our intuition, then we become a master.
The master of our own life.
You're right.
Yeah. So I think Dr. Hsu always mentions, whenever we meditate, he always says, open your heart, to be open to what's out there, I think sometimes in society we have been taught certain rules and regulations and social rules that our mind has become fixed. So he wants us to keep opening our heart and to feel, nature, and to feel our environment.
Correct.
So you're the master of the inner feng shui.
But I would admit that I'm not a master. I'm learning to be a master.
Yes. So how do you meditate daily?
I try to meditate. It's rather difficult with kids, because in the morning, for instance, when I start meditating, sometimes in 1 minute, sometimes it's in 5 minutes, one or two kids already join me and start to crawl around, climb. my shoulders behind and nearby. But when it's rather deep meditation, they somehow understand this.
Oh.
Sometimes when I meditate deeper and just notice them a little bit without opening eyes, they just start sitting near me or
Mm.
laying near me,
Hmm.
finishing their sleep or the dreams, or just sit and look at me.
They feel it. They feel your
Yeah,
energy.
yeah,
That's wonderful. Maybe by watching you, they will automatically have that kind of quietness in them when need be.
I think meditation give a universal result. All living beings become attracted to this person. I noticed it with Dr. Hsu.
Hmm.
When he visited, I followed him on his consultation in Ukraine.
Hmm.
And every time he enters any house or any apartment, kids join him, start smiling, and want to hug him. All home cats, all dogs,
Yeah.
birds, they
Yeah.
start singing. Cats and dogs follow Dr. Sue and want to sit on his knees and
Yeah.
want him to touch them. So everybody in this house try to follow Dr. Sue and want his attention, and want to be closer to him.
Yeah.
So
That's very true. He has this strong charisma, maybe
yeah,
coming from his heart. He has a very open mind and an open heart. Yeah.
yeah. And I think everybody notice it with himself or herself when we have more energy, when
Mhm.
we optimistic,
Yes.
when we smile, people are attracted to us,
Mm.
kids are attracted to us. But when we are depressed, when we are in bad mood,
Hmm.
when we something bad happened to us, during this day people are not attracted to us. They keep aside, don't want to touch us.
That's true because that the kind of energy you're afraid of that kind of negative energy. You
Right.
know, we don't want it to affect our own energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it's really nice to be around people who are uplifting and positive and yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So you teach to the Russian and Ukraine population. Is that your audience right now?
Yes, my audience mainly the people who somehow were interested in Chinese culture already,
I see.
because Feng Shui until now, Feng Shui is like a little bit not fiction, not science,
I
and people don't trust it very much because after reading some internet or some popular books, fast
yeah,
food Feng Shui books, they understood that it's a rubbish and don't want to hear about it. And
I see.
at many jobs when I used to work, because I used to be not only scientist but used to be a journalist working
I
at some newspaper and some several magazines.
uh-huh.
When I first mentioned that I practice Feng Shui, people were laughing or just uh,
Mm.
don't
Yeah.
take it seriously.
Yeah.
But when I published one or two articles about what is a traditional Feng Shui, what is from school,
Uh-huh.
they changed their mind and started looking at me with more more seriously.
That's good.
And
That's good.
yeah, and even asking about some advice. First of all, about their working place,
Yeah.
working table, maybe some changes, and some people started bringing me their home pictures or
Mm.
layout of the house
The
or the
layout.
apartment or some separate room, helping to move how to move the bed or how to move oven or something like that.
Right. I mean, a lot of times, you know, when you encounter something new, you got to kind of start. And a easier place to start is your home by moving the furniture. But I think as you move along the you know, go up the stairs or move along the path or however you want to express it, you know, you realize that it's not just the physical. You got to
Yeah,
start working on the inner, you know, as you say, inner feng shui, as you call it, the internal, and how it really does affect you. A lot of times people are skeptical because they think, oh, you only moved it, you know, three
yeah,
inches or 10 centimeters or whatever, you know? How could it make a difference? But it does make a difference because even if you have, for example, this pencil, oh, you can't see my pencil. If I have it this way and I have it this way, the energy is very different, you know?
yeah,
But I think that's why for feng shui, we have to start at a physical level so at least people can understand. Yeah.
yeah. And another very interesting thing, some people ask about just one room. Oh, please, Taras, take a look at my room, how to improve it from
Yes.
feng shui point of view. But I answer, please give me the layout of your whole apartment or your whole house, because we cannot separate, cut your room from your apartment, because you live in the whole apartment, not in one room. And it's like in medicine, you cannot,
Oh,
if
very
you
good analogy.
I'm interested in my liver, just analyze my liver, but I don't want you to touch my heart, my kidney, my head, my legs. But as we know, everything is interconnected in our body. The
Correct.
same we can say about house, about apartment.
Yes.
Everything is interconnected and interrelated. We
Yes.
cannot consider something separately. Some people want to become economic. They want, they don't want to pay, for instance, 100 or $1,000. They say, okay, I don't need the whole house, all 2 floors. Just see this one room on the first floor. Will it
Yes.
be less? Will it be cheaper? I say no. Even if I look one room, I take into account and analyze the whole structure, the whole
Yes.
building or the whole apartment, because we cannot remove liver from your body.
That's right. That's right. We can look at the liver as an individual to make it function right, but it's still part of the whole.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely. That's a great analogy. I think that's Western medicine is more look at the liver, and Chinese traditional medicine is look at the whole system.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes it looks very strange when you go to official medicine doctor and says, okay, I have some headache. Okay, he analyzes headache, but say, I don't see the reason. Then you go to the heart specialist. Heart doctor say, analyzes everything, say, heart is okay. Then you go to liver specialist, liver doctor. He analyzes and say, okay, you have some problem in liver. Uh, you should take some drugs. And you take these drugs, but when you
Mhm.
visit kidney doctor, he says, oh, you shouldn't take these drugs because these drugs kill your kidney, and you start to treat your kidney. But then you start some heartache and return to this heart doctor. Oh, but you shouldn't took these drugs for kidney. You should take this one. But when you visit the second expert from another hospital of heart expert, he says, oh, the first one was wrong because that drug was for the one situation, but you are in the second situation. And this show must go on in official medicine. But we need it. We need the Western medicine and we need the Eastern medicine.
Yes,
Only
I
when
think
we
so.
unite, when you take the best from one and from the second, we have a good result.
I agree. I
I
think
used to,
we
yeah,
need to
I
value
used to
both.
be, Yes, yeah, of course, value both.
Yeah, yeah. They each have their own good parts and the bad parts, you know. Yeah, I agree. You know, sometimes when the situation is too far gone, you have to intervene and cut it open. You know, if it's when sometimes there's a time limit. You know, I think like Chinese medicine is great if you sometimes have more time. You know, to because it's the healing is more natural, so it could be slower. But sometimes your disease or whatever it is too far gone. You got to intervene, and maybe Western medicine is good, and then you can use more holistic. You
Yeah.
know, I think it's a balance. Yeah, it's a balance. So yeah, that's very interesting. Very interesting. So where can people find you?
They just
Yeah.
enter two words or three words: Taras Litvin Feng Shui, and Google give everything about me, about our site.
Yeah.
We have bluemountainfengshui.com is English,
Uh-huh.
is official site of Dr. Hsu and Blue Mountain Institute, the main institute, and we have the branch bluemountainfengshui.org.
Hmm.
It's a Russian language site
Hmm.
for the Eastern Europe, and
Wonderful.
yeah, for us.
And
So
you have books in Russian as well, right?
yeah, we translated most books of Dr. Hsu, all Feng Shui books, and we have Fundamentals of Feng Shui, Form Defines Energy book, then Love in Yan of Relations. We have Dr. Hsu and your book, Myth and Misunderstandings,
Yes.
Truth and yeah, and we have the medicine box.
Oh, you have that in Russian as well.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Dr. Zhu's novel. Yeah.
yeah,
Based on
very,
feng shui.
yeah. And it has many levels of understanding. And I used to read it around 5 times
Wow.
or 6 times because several times I used to read before the publishing.
Oh,
Dr.
I
Shu
see.
yeah, to read it.
I see.
And Dr. Shu also has very good tea book, The Essence of Tea,
Oh,
but
yes.
we didn't translate it. We
I
haven't translated it, but I would like to finish. I started, but I didn't finish.
so you almost have everything in Russian. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. That's great. So people can
And by the
find.
way,
Mhm.
we even published the book from the after the very first visit of Dr. Sue to Ukraine in 2001.
Mhm.
The organizer of his travel, Tamara,
Mhm.
she recorded everything on the tape recorder,
Uh-huh.
his several workshops, and then asked to type it. And we
Oh,
published the book exactly following the workshops of Dr. Sue.
wow. That's
Yeah, it was in
wonderful.
Russian, already translated.
Wow.
And but it had some mistakes,
Mhm.
just mistakes because it was interpretation
I
and
see.
missed the words,
I
so
see.
or changed the words. That's why we didn't republish it, but just translated new books of Dr. Sue.
Wow, that's wonderful, wonderful. It's really wonderful to see that how feng shui can be so universal. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, whether it's, in Eastern Europe, in America, in Asia, in South
Yeah,
America, Europe.
yeah,
It's
and by the way, even the consultation sometimes it happens online.
hmm
One person asked me for consultation in New Zealand.
Oh,
Yeah, and they wanted the feng shui consultation for fitness club, the logo design, but also they needed to move and wanted the consultation for the old fitness club
hmm
uh, to take it or not to take it, and if to take it, to buy it, how to reconstruct it, how to improve it. And I asked them to make video, to shoot video from the whole building,
Yes.
the street
Street.
nearby from
Mm-hmm.
different sides. Then just enter each space,
Mm-hmm.
each room, and rotating and talking about what she
Yes, that's
says,
wonderful.
explaining
Mm-hmm.
the situation. We had around 20 videos,
Wow.
and I had the picture, 3D picture in my head. I understood the space. I had some feeling
Mm-hmm.
with her explanation. Just it looked like I visited it,
That's great.
and it was very interesting for me and for them, because sometimes they ask, how do you know that? Because
Uh,
I said about the previous business or about some things about them,
yes.
but they didn't tell me. But the form of the building, the form of the room, the form of the logo, the
Yes.
form of the old logo, everything was talking.
I
Each
see.
form talks to us. Everything tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
just the question to read it, to understand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just understanding the flow of energy and the understanding the forms and how they relate to each other gives us a lot of
Right,
clues. So our main objective is to be extremely observant and see what you can interpret through that. That's great.
right.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah. That sounds very exciting. I wish, people out there, if, doesn't matter where you live, you can contact us. You can contact Taras, you can contact myself. There's some consultants all over the place. Please go to Blue Mountain Feng Shui. That'd be great. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Taras. That was so
Thank
fun.
you, Jenny.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you, Jenny.
enjoyed it. Yeah. So hopefully
Great.
next week we can talk to Dr. Zhu. Currently,
Yeah,
he's in quarantine in Shanghai.
yeah. I hope we will ask what happened with him after returning to mainland China, right?
Yeah, yeah. It'd be interesting to find out how his 2-week quarantine went.
Yeah, in lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah,
W-
yeah.
Very
Okay,
good
well,
experience.
thanks so much. And it was wonderful to get to know you and what you do and how you use feng shui into your life. That was great. And,
Thank
I really love how you use the inner feng shui to become more aware and sensitive to your environment and how you incorporate that into your life. It's just
you. Yeah, thank you,
wonderful.
Jenny.
Yeah. Okay, well, have a good day. And thanks everybody for watching.
Bye
See you
bye.
next time.